Hey, it's Kendall, and this is 90 Church. Before we begin, if you haven't done so already, you can follow us on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube so you can catch the next episode. We are finishing up today a series called How Are You Really? And it's about the fact that it's not possible to be spiritually healthy without also being emotionally healthy, or at least on the road to emotional health. So here is this week's main point. As you realize who you are through Jesus, you are free to become who God created you to be. As you realize who you are in Christ, you're free to become who God created you to be. So, who are we when we become followers of Jesus? Well, Ephesians 1:5 describes it. It says, God decided in advance to adopt us into His own family by bringing us to Himself through Jesus Christ. This is what He wanted to do, and it gave Him great pleasure. Now, the Apostle Paul was writing in the ancient Roman world, and just as couples today adopt children, so couples in that world adopted children. And so usually, the adoptive couple was wealthy and childless, and they were looking for an heir to carry the family name. And so they would find a teenage boy who wanted to be adopted, and they'd go through this elaborate adoption ceremony with his birth parents. And as soon as the adoption was complete legally, that adopted son immediately, in that instant, had all the rights of a legitimate son in his new family, and he lost all of his rights from his old family. In the eyes of the law, he was a new person. If there were any debts that he had from his old family, they were abolished as if they never existed, and he now was heir to whatever fortune his new father has. And what Paul is saying is this is exactly what God has done for us. We belonged to the family of sin and death. We had spiritual debts that we could never pay. And what God did through Jesus was take us out of that family of death into His family of life, and He adopted us. And all our old debts were wiped out as if they'd never existed. We are new people now, sons and daughters of the King, heirs to His fortune. How would your life change if you really understood that truth? Would you see yourself differently? Would it bring new life to your relationships? Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon.